So how do we win back the promise of America? I believe that what we need to do first is establish a coalition of junior congressmen. There are 435 members of Congress, 297 members of Congress with 6 years of service or less in the House of Representatives. They are treated like we the people are treated. And as President Reagan said, the person who agrees with you 80% of the time is a friend and an ally, not a 20% traitor. So where do we agree, Mr. Weeks? Are our children important? Are they the future of this great country? Then let us rally behind them in the halls of Congress. It is time for Mr. Smith to go to Washington. If Mr. Smith had social media and maybe slightly better mental health so he doesn't collapse on the Senate floor. This is the election of the internet. It's the election of the people. We have an instant connection to one another online. Now people call me when they disagree with me, and we talk. This is also the time for term limits. 12 years in both the House and the Senate, not a moment longer. After that, get a freaking job, find a hobby, or find somewhere else to serve your government. It's time to end these forever wars and occupations. We are on the brink of World War III, so we are going to stop World War III. We are going to save lives throughout the world by checking the war machine from within the halls of Congress, and we are going to do it for our children. We are going to invest in our home. We are going to invest in America. And investments yield dividends, not deficits. It is time for America to be run like a business, and in a business, we sell products. It is time for our farmers to have the water that they need. It is time for us to have the energy that we need to tap into our rich oil base, our lithium, our nuclear energy, and our coal. In a good business, people get to retire, and we take care of our employees. President Trump said, it's time to repeal and replace Obamacare. It is time. We got one vote short. It is time to get it done. Our education system and our health system were once the envy of the world, and it will be again. Not for some people, but for all Americans. It's time to free our children. Our parents deserve school choice. Put them in the driver's seat of their children's education. Empower our teachers. Where is our damn lottery money that was supposed to fix our schools? It is time to fix this country's border at the border. Shut it down and get our house in order. At one shining point, we had all the promises of greatness. The promises of home ownership, of business ownership, of a solid education, of achieving the American dream, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, to be president, to own a home. The path to greatness is dwindling away because we have not tended that road. When people throughout the world think of a shining city on a hill, they only think of one place, and it still hasn't changed. That is the United States of America. In the eyes of some, America may not have been great, but it has always been on its way to greatness. And when I grew up with nothing in and out of shelters and in Section 8 housing, I never stopped looking up at that flag. I never stopped getting goosebumps when I heard her national anthem. And most importantly, my mom never stopped telling me, son, in this country, you can be anything that you want. You can even be the president of the United States someday. Now, I believe my mom, and I still do. I believe our children can still dream, and that dream is disappearing. In this country, you can be anything that you want. And I know that I'm not the only person whose parents gave them this speech. I want our children shooting for the stars. I want them reaching for the stars. I believe that our best days are still ahead of us. From everyone who has been given much, much will be demanded. And from the one who has been entrusted with much, much will be asked. We have been given so much. Let us not be derelict with our inheritance. Let us not be derelict in our duty. Let us not be cavalier with what we have been given. We must preserve what we must improve. Hate will not do it. Love is the answer. It is time to unite. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys.